the magnificent Riot tapes who were after literally ripping up the stage upstairs. And very welcome Chris, Elaine, Darren and Marty. So Elaine, you started off with Hello Insanity, the new single tonight, yeah? And the video for that is so impressive. You run for the whole thing without taking a breath. Yeah, so are you a runner, yeah?
Yes, I've kind of stopped now the last few months, but yeah, no, it's fine. I just ran the marathon, so it was actually quite easy for me then. Yeah. To do it now, however, would be a different story.
Well, you were certainly giving it loads of energy tonight. Yeah. So come here, Elaine, how did you meet all these guys and how did the kind of band come about? What's the genesis, the backstory?
We were actually only talking about this. We kind of met on the internet, most of us. Like
internet band dating. I like it.
Tinder. No, I was looking for people to work with, and I came across an ad that Chris had posted on some website. I can't even remember the name of it. And I replied to it, as it were, and we just got in contact, and then we started working from there. And we met Marty here in the Workmans Club, actually. One night he was absolutely balubas. And
yeah, back up that story.
Yeah.
And that's all we're going to hear on that from Marty tonight. So how did it, yeah, so next stage.
Next stage, we met Marty in the Workman's Club. Whoa. He was balubas, so were we. No, but he said to us, are you on my tapes? And we, myself and Chris, were like, oh, this is great. Someone knows who we are, like, you know. But he expressed the interest in being our bass player. And then Darren was an internet baby as well for us. So, yeah, that's... Am I missing it?
Technology, you can't beat it. And Chris, this is an interview, so you can't just start talking to Elaine like that in the middle of an interview. So, Chris, you're obviously from not from these shores, so tell us about how you landed here and how this all came about.
I'm originally from America. I grew up in the deep south, then lived in Boston for 10 years, where I met my wife, who is from Dublin. She wasn't my wife when I met her.
But she was from Dublin, right?
She was actually from Dublin, and we actually got married in the States, and then moved to London, and then moved to Ireland.
Okay.
And that's...
So you're a nomad, basically. Yeah, yeah. Well, we're delighted to have you here, sir. Absolutely. And come here, your guitar playing is very, I think you told me before you started off playing bass guitar or something, and your guitar playing is very unique. So tell me about how you come up with that sound. It's almost electronic, but yet it's very real guitar playing at the same time.
Yeah, you know, I played bass for years and years and years, and I wrote a lot of, it's a kind of a very kind of self-serving story, I guess. I wrote a lot of songs on the bass, and I'd play a song that I'd written, and we'd finish a gig, and people would come up to me after the gig and go, "You guys are great," and then go to the guitarist, "I love all your songs." And I was like, son of a bitch. Like, nobody ever thinks the bass player writes a lick of music. And so I just said, I'm going to learn how to play guitar just so people know I write songs. Okay. And that was it.
I thought you were going to say, so you set up the association of neglected bass players.
No. I fled the ranks of bass. And no, the very first band I was ever in, as most people that can barely play guitar, I was in a punk band. Okay. And played in a punk band for years, and then learned how to actually play guitar. And it's just kind of been one of those things where I do a lot of recording, and I try to write stuff that fits around everything else I do, and it just ends up being kind of my own little thing, probably because I write it in the context of everything else.
Okay, well, a damn good answer. I'm still not sure that I'm any clearer than I was before I asked the question. But
we asked Chris a few years ago to actually play the bass, because he is an amazing bass player, and he said no. Yeah. We were like, really?
Proper order. You've moved on.
Guitarist anyway,
yeah.
And we have our good bass player here anyway.
You have a great bass player. And Marty, one of the things about your bass playing is that your bass guitar actually matches your trousers. And Marty, you do have a great range of fashionista kind of gear. Are you a fashionista? Tell us more.
The basses came first, I think. Yeah, I got the bass, and I got the guitar, which Chris is currently playing, and then I got another bass, and they were all sort of white, black and white, and it's like, yeah, for a band, sort of, well, let's do something, have a little bit of an image so it looks good in photos or whatever, so we'll all go with the black and white thing. It's pretty easy and simple, and everyone has it. And then I kind of brought the extremes. just browsing on the internet, you know.
Well, the internet again, trouser dating, huh? Trouser dating, absolutely.
I can pull them off, though. I don't know anybody else that can pull them off.
That can pull them off, yeah, really? We're talking about trousers here, Elaine. We're talking about trousers. and Darren, the quiet man in the corner, so you're an internet baby as well, yeah? So were these guys fully formed when you joined them, and they just said, look, Darren, just do 1, 2, 3, 4, go, or what has been your input?
pretty much it. Yeah, Chris likes to push me every now and again, though. He has his crazy ideas and drives me crazy, but you know, he pushes me. He's made me better. The band have made me better as a player altogether. So I've become, since I joined the band, I've become better all rounded, kind of.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, because you're grappling with technology as well as having to keep the beat, so that's not an easy thing to do. You played in Kerry earlier on this year as well, didn't you? On Valentia Island for a festival, and that's quite a well-renowned festival. How did that all come about, and how was it for you?
Wow, I wish you didn't ask this question. No, it was an experience. It was very bad weather on the weekend, and we went up on the Friday after a few pints of Guinness, which was lovely. To see we played Whelan's, and then we went straight to Kerry. We drove to Kerry
After the game,
and had a great night in Kerry there. In what was her name? The Ringlands, great spot. And the following morning we went up to see where we're playing, like, you know, what tent we're in and whatever. And the whole place is just like under mud. Our tent had blown down. Another tent, the beer tent, blew down. Like, it was bad weather, really, really bad weather. But we managed to get a spot somehow. How did we get that again? Mike, got us a spot on the main stage then on the Sunday. So we played at like 2 o'clock in the day when people were just coming out of their tents in the mud, you know, swimming out of the place. But it was nice to actually play there and say that we play there.
And it was just as well you played there before the All-Ireland final, wasn't it? Because you wouldn't have been really welcome after it.
Oh, as well before that.
It was. Do you know what was on that? The McGregor fight was on.
Oh, the McGregor fight.
Yeah.
There's always competition, folks. There's always competition.
They left a bit late to tell us we were playing the following day because we had a few drinks on us. And instead of being like, we should probably stop now, we just continued, and we were quite rough for the gigs.
Probably one of the best gigs you ever did. Come here, you guys.
You forgot your drum still.
Well, you know, there's always bar stools, right? And you guys are signed to Ricus Records, who are an amazing Irish label who've been around for years and years and years under the guidance of Elvira Butler. So how supportive has that been for you, Elaine, and what difference has that made to you?
It's like, as you know, we went to Germany there this year, so that was a thing that we wouldn't have been able to do on our own. And I think being attached to a label such as Ricus gives you a bit extra leeway with things, and people kind of take it a bit more serious as well. So yeah, they've put out Cardinal Rules for us back in November last year, and they put out Hollow and Sandy for us, and we're hoping that they'll put out the album for us as well, which we've had quite a while. Myself and Chris have felt the last 5 years of that. So, well, we haven't had the album 5 years, but, you know, writing and recording and stuff, so we've had it a few years.
So is there an album in the oven, as it were? Have you got the tracks already recorded yet?
It's ready to...
It's got cold.
It's ready to go. It's been ready to go for a while now, so we're just waiting on the right moment, and...
Well, we're really, really looking forward to that. And I have to say, Hello Insanity is an amazing song. I think I heard some comparisons to the AAS in terms of reviews and stuff like that. And that's quite lofty praise. And it is good. It is good. It's really, really good. So congratulations on that. And we look forward to the next stage of Riot Tape's ascending career. So thank you so much, Elaine and gang. Thank you.
I wanna be